If I asked you to name the scent of calm, what would you say? I bet for most of you, it's lavender, right? It's everywhere, in soaps, sleep sprays, you name it. But there's so much more to this amazing herb than just a nice smell. And its story? It actually starts with something super simple, super practical. And really, the name itself gives the whole game away. Think about the ancient Romans. They loved their baths, and they used lavender for its amazing scent and, well, its cleansing powers. In fact, the name lavender comes directly from the Latin word lavar, which literally means to wash. So yeah, its reputation for purity, it goes back thousands of years.
But that begs the question, right? How did this ancient bath herb, this washing plant, become our modern-day go-to for calm and relaxation? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into. We'll look at everything from what the plant actually is to a super simple oil you can whip up in your own kitchen.
Okay, so first things first, let's get to know the plant itself. To really get lavender, you got to use all your senses. So we're going to break down what makes it so special, from how its stem feels all the way to where that incredible scent actually comes from.
So when you first look at it, you see these beautiful, dense little mounds of silvery green leaves. But if you get up close, you'll see they're covered in this superfine fuzz that gives them this kind of shimmery, almost magical look. And here's a really cool little fact for you. The stems, they're actually square. Yeah, square. That's the classic sign that lavender is part of the mint family. Who knew?
And then, of course, you've got the main attraction, the flowers. They pop up on these skinny little stalks, all packed together in tight spikes. And that scent we all know and love, it's not just a simple floral smell. It's way more complex. It's got these woody, almost camphor-like undertones. And get this, the fragrance comes from these teeny tiny oil glands that are hidden among little star-shaped hairs on the leaves and the flowers.
All right, so we know what it looks like, we know what it smells like, but the big question is why? Why does that particular smell have such a powerful effect on us? Well, the answer isn't magic, it's actually science.
And this isn't just some old wives' tale. These benefits are seriously well documented. We're talking everything from antimicrobial action to helping with digestion and sleep. Lavender is a real workhorse, but for now, we're going to zero in on its most famous superpower, kicking stress and anxiety to the curb. So how does it actually work? Well, when you breathe in that lavender scent, certain chemical compounds, one is called linalool, go to work on your brain. They basically tell your nervous system to just chill out. And studies have actually measured this. It literally lowers your body's level of cortisol, which is, the main stress hormone. So that feeling of calm, it's not just in your head. It's a real physical thing happening in your body. Okay, so knowing the science behind it is cool and all, but how do we actually use it? Let's talk about the simple, practical ways people are bringing all that lavender goodness into their everyday lives.
So the number one way people use lavender, by a long shot, is aromatherapy. Diffusers, room sprays, that kind of thing. But right behind that is using it on your skin, in lotions and oils. And of course, people use it all over the house, in stuff like linen sachets, and you'll even find it in the kitchen.
And you know what? That skincare use we just talked about is one of the easiest ways to get these benefits for yourself. So let's do something fun. I'm going to walk you through how to make your very own lavender-infused oil at home. And trust me, it is way, way simpler than it sounds. But first, we need to clear something up, because this is super important. What we're making is an infusion. This means we're basically just steeping lavender buds in another oil, like a carrier oil. It's way gentler and totally safe to put right on your skin. This is not the same as a pure essential oil, which is super duper concentrated and made through a whole complicated steam process.
The whole process is honestly so easy. You just get your lavender buds ready, pick a carrier oil you like, and then let the magic happen during the infusion step, which we'll get to in a sec. After that, you just strain it, store it, and you're done. Seriously, that's it.
So for that infusion part, you've got two main choices. There's the slow and steady solar method. You just put your lavender and oil in a jar, stick it in the sunny window, and let the sun do its thing for a few weeks. It makes for a really delicate scent. But if you're like me and you want it now, there's the warm method. You use really low heat, like on a double boiler, and you can have an amazing oil ready in just a few hours. And once it's done, oh man, the possibilities are endless. You can rub a little on your temples or feet before bed, use it as this amazing body oil after a shower, add a spoonful to your bath, or use it for the most relaxing massage ever. You basically just bottled up your own personal supply of calm.
Okay,
Hold on. Before you run off to the kitchen to start your oil, we need to cover a few quick but really important safety tips. This way you can enjoy it all without a single worry.
So, the great news is that lavender is super safe for most people. But, it's still a powerful plant, so it's always smart to keep a few things in mind, just to make sure you get all the good stuff and none of the, unwanted surprises. First off, just remember its calming effects can make you a bit sleepy, so just be careful if you're also using other sedatives. For your skin, it's always a good idea to do a little patch test on a small spot first, just to make sure you don't have a reaction. And this last one is so important for our DIY project. Always use dried lavender. If you use fresh buds, the water in them can make your oil grow mold, and nobody wants that. So there you have it. From ancient Roman baths all the way to modern-day science, lavender has more than earned its reputation as this little powerhouse of peace. It's such a simple, easy-to-find herb, but it has these incredibly profound effects. So, I guess the only question left is, how are you going to bring a little bit of that lavender calm into your world?